You've spent your entire life searching for a home in the hearts of people who were never meant to understand you. You have exhausted your spirit, trying to build bridges towards souls that thrive on distance. But something has shifted. You can feel it in the marrow of your bones. The desperate need to explain yourself is dying. The frantic urge to plead your case to people who are committed to misunderstanding you has gone cold. You are entering a season of a strange, terrifying, yet beautiful silence. Right now, as you listen to these words, you might be feeling a heavy pressure in the center of your chest. Not the pressure of anxiety, but the weight of a divine anchor. You've noticed that your circles are shrinking. You've noticed that when people cast stones of false judgment at your character, you no longer have the impulse to catch those stones and throw them back. You are simply letting them fall. You are sitting in the calm of being the villain in someone else's distorted story. And for the first time, it doesn't make you want to cry. It makes you want to breathe. Have you noticed the physical toll the old way of living took on you? The constant tension in your shoulders, the shallow breathing, the way your eyes would dart around a room trying to gauge if you were being accepted or rejected? That was the frequency of the Matrix. That was the frequency of the people pleaser. A mask the world forced upon you to keep your light dimmed. But the mask is cracking. You might be experiencing sudden bouts of fatigue that no amount of sleep can fix. You might feel a ringing in your ears or a sudden sense of detachment, as if you are watching your own life from a high balcony. This is because your spirit is withdrawing its investment from the world's opinion. You are realizing that their misunderstanding of you is not your failure. It is their limit. You are a frequency they cannot tune into. You are a language they never learned to speak. Think about the last time someone twisted your words. Normally, you would have spent hours, maybe days, replaying the conversation, drafting a mental defense, wishing they could just see your heart. But look at you now. You are tired of the performance. You are tired of the theater of justification. There is a specific type of loneliness that comes with this stage of the journey. It is a holy loneliness. It feels like being in a crowded room where the sound is turned off. You see their lips moving. You see the projections they are throwing onto you. But it no longer penetrates your aura. You are becoming untouchable. This calm you are feeling is actually a spiritual fortress. It is the realization that if the world loved you, you would be of the world. But you are not. You are a chosen one, a disruptor of ancestral patterns, a light bearer in a kingdom of shadows. Shadows have always been afraid of the light, and their only defense is to try and define the light as something evil, or crazy, or difficult. Sit with that. Sit with the fact that you are difficult to those who want to use you. Sit with the fact that you are cold to those who can no longer warm themselves by your fire for free. This silence is your power. Every time you don't defend yourself, you reclaim a piece of your soul that you once gave away. Every time you stay silent while they lie about you, you are telling the universe, my worth is not up for debate. Can you feel that? The shift from the frantic frequency of the used to the steady, rhythmic heartbeat of the chosen? You are no longer seeking a seat at their table because you have realized you are the feast. The world's misunderstanding is actually a divine protection. It keeps the wrong people away from your inner sanctum. It acts as a filter, straining out those who only love the version of you that serves them. You are being called to enter the deep water, where it is quiet, where the surface noise of gossip and judgment cannot reach. This is the beginning of your true sovereignty. This stillness is not an accident. It is a spiritual surgery. The reason the universe has allowed this wall of misunderstanding to rise between you and the world is because your old habit of seeking validation was a leak in your power. You were bleeding light. Every time you tried to make a narcissist understand your pain or a toxic family member acknowledge your truth, you were handing over your scepter to someone who only wanted to melt it down. The divine has stepped in to stop the bleed. The spiritual cause of this profound calm is the severing of the silver cords. For years, you have been connected to the collective consciousness of the average soul, those who live for the belly, the ego, and the image. Because you carry a higher vibration, you are naturally acting as a battery for them. They didn't need to understand you. They just needed to stay close enough to feed off your empathy. But the frequency of the earth is rising, and the gap between the chosen and the matrix is becoming a chasm. You are vibrating at a rate that is literally becoming invisible to their lower density perception. When they misunderstand you, it is a spiritual defense mechanism on their part. If they truly understood who you were, if they truly saw the magnitude of the light you carry, it would force them to confront their own darkness, their own lies, and their own stagnation. That is too painful for them. So, the universe projects a veil over their eyes. This veil makes you look like the problem. It makes you look like the difficult one. This is actually God's way of insulating you. By making you unlikable to those who are stagnant, the divine is ensuring that you no longer waste your holy energy trying to fix people who are programmed to stay broken. You are currently undergoing a recalibration of your solar plexus chakra, the seat of your will and your identity. In the past, your solar plexus was outward-facing, searching for a mirror in others to tell you who you were. Now, that energy is turning inward. You are becoming your own mirror. This is why the arguments that used to devastate you now feel like static on a radio station you no longer listen to. You are being moved into a state of non-reaction. In the higher realms, non-reaction is the ultimate sign of mastery. It means the hooks of the enemy no longer have anything to grab onto within you. The enemy uses the trap of explanation. They intentionally provoke you. They intentionally misinterpret your intentions, hoping you will jump into the ring to fight for your reputation. But the moment you explain yourself, you descend into their density. You lose your height. The calm you feel right now is the result of you staying on the mountain. You are realizing that you don't owe anyone a map to your soul. If they cannot see your heart through your fruit, they will never see it through your words. This is a divine rule of the new earth. Your silence is your seal of protection. By being comfortable in their misunderstanding, you are breaking an ancestral curse of the beggar. For generations, your bloodline has begged for crumbs of respect. You are the first one to say, "I don't need your respect to know I am royalty." This shift is sending shockwaves through your lineage. You are teaching the spirits of your ancestors how to stand tall. You are being prepared for a massive download of spiritual authority, but you cannot hold that authority if you are still checking the comments section of your life. The universe is testing your capacity to hold your own truth when the whole world is calling it a lie. This is the initiation of the sovereign. Watch closely now, because the shift in your energy has triggered a frantic alarm within the collective of the Matrix. For years, the people around you, the narcissists, the energy vampires, and those committed to the status quo knew exactly how to pull your strings. They knew that a single false accusation or a cold shoulder would send you spiraling into a frenzy of self-correction. They operated on the assumption that your need to be seen as good was your greatest weakness. But now, as you sit in this divine calm, their playground has been burned to the ground. The enemy is terrified of your silence. In the spiritual realm, silence is interpreted as power in reserve. When you stop explaining, they lose their data on you. They can no longer track your emotional state, and that lack of control is driving them into a state of spiritual psychosis. Have you noticed them getting louder? Have you noticed them doubling down on their lies? Or perhaps trying to bait you with increasingly absurd provocations? This is a narcissistic extinction burst. They are throwing everything at the wall, because they can feel your energy slipping through their fingers like sand. They are scared because your comfort with being misunderstood proves that you are no longer under their jurisdiction. You have moved out of their court and into a higher court of law. To the Matrix, a person who doesn't care about their reputation is a person who cannot be bribed, threatened, or controlled. You have become a wild card. They see you sitting in that calm, and they don't see peace, they see a threat. They wonder, how can they be so still while I am dragging their name through the mud? They wonder, what secret source of strength are they tapping into that I don't have access to? Your power over them is now absolute, simply because you have withdrawn your attention. In the realm of energy, attention is currency. By being comfortable in their misunderstanding, you have stopped funding their drama. You have declared bankruptcy on their emotional demands. Watch how they scramble. They will try to recruit flying monkeys messengers to come and tell you what is being said about you, hoping to pierce your shield of calm. They want to see a flinch. They are desperate for a reaction because a reaction is a bridge that allows them to cross back into your life. But you are staying on the other side of the canyon. You are realizing that their hatred of you was never about you anyway. It was always about their own inability to handle your light. Your presence acts as a spiritual ultraviolet light, exposing the bacteria of their hidden motives. They don't hate you. They hate the way you make them feel about themselves. They hate the mirror you have become. And the more you sit in your truth without flinching, the more that mirror reflects their own decay. Understand this. The enemy's reaction is the ultimate confirmation of your growth. If you were still the old version of yourself, they would be comfortable. They would be friends with you because you would be manageable. The fact that they are whispering, the fact that they are isolating you, the fact that they are painting you as the villain, is the universe's way of pinning a medal of honor on your chest. You are being voted off the island of the mediocre because you were meant to rule the continent of the awakened. Let them talk. Let them plot. Their words are like smoke, and you are the wind. They are fighting for scraps of ego, while you are inheriting a kingdom of spirit. You have already won the moment you decided that their version of the truth was none of your business. The calm you are experiencing is not a psychological trick. It is the manifestation of a divine decree. There is a specific law of the universe that states, that which is validated by the heavens requires no testimony from the earth. You are finally aligning with this law. You are beginning to understand the prophecy of the remnant, the truth that in every generation, a few are called to walk through the fire of total isolation so they can be forged into leaders for the new era. You are that remnant. The theological truth behind your journey is that you are being moved from the outer court to the Holy of Holies. In the outer court, there is noise, sacrifice, and the opinions of the masses. But in the Holy of Holies, there is only the presence and the silence. You have been invited into the inner sanctum of the Most High, and the price of admission was your reputation. God allowed them to misunderstand you, to ensure you would stop looking for a home in a place that was always meant to be your wilderness. The wilderness was never your punishment. It was your training ground. It was where you learned that the only voice that defines your essence is the voice that spoke you into existence. Look at the ancient laws of frequency. Two objects vibrating at different rates cannot occupy the same space without friction. The arguments and misunderstandings you faced were simply the friction of your soul outgrowing its old container. You are no longer a match for the drama of your bloodline. You are no longer a match for the superficiality of your old social circles. The universe is literally glitching you out of their reality because you are needed for a higher mission. This is the great separation mentioned in the scrolls of old. The wheat is being gathered, and the chaff is being blown away by the wind of public opinion. There is a divine plan for your life that requires a level of focus you could never achieve while you were busy being liked. Think of the great prophets, the avatars, and the visionaries who changed the course of history. None of them were understood in their time. They were all mocked, slandered, and cast out. This is the badge of the chosen. To be understood by a sick society is a sign of infection. To be misunderstood by a broken world is a sign of health. You are being quarantined by the divine, so that the toxins of the matrix no longer seep into your creative and spiritual work. This is the metaphysical reality. Your DNA is being upgraded. As you sit in this calm, your cells are learning to hold more light. If you were still engaging in the low-level vibration of defending and explaining, your nervous system would be too fried to receive the new codes of intuition and abundance that are being sent to you. The universe is saying, "Be still and know that I am God." Not be busy, and make sure they know you are good. You are being prepared for a position of immense spiritual authority, but authority requires weight. In Hebrew, the word for glory is kabod, which literally means heaviness or weight. You are gaining spiritual weight. You are becoming a mountain, and a mountain does not move because the dogs at its base are barking. A mountain does not change its shape because a cloud passes by and calls it a shadow. You are becoming permanent. You are becoming an anchor for the light in a world that is drowning in its own illusions. The truth of your life is not written in the mouths of your enemies. It is written in the book of life, and the ink is already dry. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. You are safe. You are seen by the only one who matters. Now, we must seal this frequency. The time for wandering in the valley of justification is over. From this moment forward, your silence is your sanctuary. You must practice the art of divine indifference. When you feel the old ghost of your ego rising up, wanting to send that text, wanting to explain your side, or wanting to check what they are saying about you, stop. Take a deep breath into your belly and feel the weight of your own soul. Remind yourself, I am a mountain. I do not answer to the wind. Your practical step for this week is to intentionally leave a misunderstanding unfinished. If someone projects a false motive onto you, let it sit there. Do not correct it. Do not polish the mirror for them. Watch how the energy stays with them while you remain light and free. This is how you ground your power. You are reclaiming the thousands of hours you would have spent in mental loops. Use that reclaimed energy to build your empire, to heal your body, and to commune with the divine. Let us activate this calm through a declaration of sovereignty. If you can, place your hand over your heart and speak these words into your space, or repeat them firmly in your mind. I am a chosen one of the Most High. I officially resign from the court of public opinion. I break every contract I ever signed with the spirit of people-pleasing. I withdraw my light from those who only seek to dim it. I accept the gift of being misunderstood, for it is the veil that protects my holiness. I am not who they say I am. I am who the Creator says I am. I sit in the calm of my own truth, and I am unshakable. My reputation belongs to the world, but my soul belongs to the divine. It is finished. I am free. I am home. Can you feel the shift? The air in the room feels different. The weight on your chest has transformed into a golden shield. You are no longer waiting for a sorry that will never come. You are no longer waiting for an I see you from eyes that are spiritually blind. You have seen yourself, and that is enough. As you move through the coming days, you will notice that the people who used to drain you will begin to fade away naturally. They cannot survive in the atmosphere of your newfound calm. They will seek easier prey, those who are still willing to dance for their approval. Let them go. Do not mourn the loss of a burden. You are being cleared for takeoff. New doors are opening. Doors that require the version of you that doesn't look back. You are entering your season of high vibrational solitude, where the only guests allowed in your space are those who carry the same frequency of peace that you now embody. If this message reached your spirit, if you felt the truth of these words in your very core, then it is time to claim your seat among the remnant. Type I am calm in the comments to anchor this energy into the physical realm. Subscribe to this frequency and join this collective of souls who are no longer afraid of the dark because they have become the light. Go forth in power. Go forth in silence. Go forth in the absolute certainty that you are loved, you are protected, and you are finally, beautifully, misunderstood by the world but perfectly known by the heavens. I am Gem. You are the chosen, and the shift is now.